one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
Ms. Harvey?
Here.
Mr. Kenka?
Here.
Dr. McSheen?
Here.
Ms. Soto?
Here.
Ms. Byrne?
Ms. Byrne will not be here this evening. She actually had an early Christmas present, so she's spending time with her family and the newest member. So.
Okay. Mr. Stellantano?
Here.
Dr. Farrar?
Here.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Here.
Ms. Thornton?
Here.
Quorum or anybody? Oh, we have board members. We all talking. Which is this?
So can I have a resolution to enter into executive session?
So moved. Second, whatever.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes.
Whereas NJSA 10:4-13 requires adoption of the board to go into executive session. Be it resolved that the board, pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, New Jersey, Title 18A, and the Hamilton Township Board of Education Bylaw Number 0166, hereby enter executive session to discuss a matter involving student matters, human resource matters, and matters falling under the attorney-client privilege. Be it further resolved that the minutes of this executive session shall be made public following formal action by the board and/or at the conclusion of any investigation, due process proceeding, or litigation, so long as not prohibited by law and so long as the need for maintaining confidentiality no longer exists.
We are in the library.
To close our executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes.
Okay, so we're going to begin our meeting. We're going to move some of the items around. We have some really amazing University Heights second graders here that are going to perform for us. So we're going to, if we can, start with them.
Yeah, so coming up right now is Dr. Disler, who's going to introduce our students who will be performing for us.
Kids were waiting out there for sometimes they're like we're running around the hall.
We are so happy that all of you are here. Thank you for allowing us to perform for you tonight. Our second graders from University Heights are going to be performing their concert on Thursday for us. It is spectacular, better than any person. It's much better performance. So our second graders are ready. I do ask families if you want to move, as I told you. I know we have some pillars here. Feel free to move as our second graders perform some selections Turning it over to Mrs. Shirello and Mrs. Preston.
Did they leave?
Should have put chair on or something just for this.
Guys, are we ready? All right. We're gonna go on to take care of business. Oh, yeah, am I good? Okay, Noel. And your favorite. Come up there. So big smile. Yeah. Okay. Big smile. Okay. For our next selection, we would love for you to sing along with us. It's one of their favorites. Ready, guys? Big smile. Here we go. Go.
Feliz Navidad.
privilege of seeing it 3 times, so I love it. Every time it gets better and better. So congratulations for second graders. Big round of applause.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We are now in the holiday spirit. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
You guys are coming tomorrow, your treat is your phone. Walking on your
and your treat tomorrow, just so you know, it is late day, or until then they can wear pajamas. We can just sit over there. Yeah, light day or PJ.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a good idea.
Okay, I like it. Let them get settled first.
Got it. It worked. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, right? It is. It's just funny.
We're going to do one thing first, and then we're going to go back into closed.
They were here for the captain. I was like, oh, we have.
We'll let everyone get settled. So that was an amazing, amazing way to start off the holiday season. So we are so fortunate to have so many talented students here in Hamilton, and that's just a showcase of our wonderful second graders at University Heights. So thank you very much for that. As we said before when we came out, we're going to right now move around the agenda a little bit, and we're going to move to our student representatives. If I can start with Ms. Ajay.
Hello. Dear friends and family and esteemed guests.
Keep it real close so everybody can hear.
Okay, sorry.
No, keep going, you're good.
Dear friends and family and esteemed guests, Hamilton West has had a very exciting December. The students of Hamilton West have had overall a really good year. On November 30th, the AP Psychology class went on a trip to the Museum of Illusions in Philadelphia. And then the Marine Bio class also attended a Venture Aquarium in Camden in the same week. Going on to winter sports, they have all officially started. The boys and girls wrestling team has had a very good season. As a matter of fact, the girls wrestling team is having a girls' night right now at West. Our swim team and basketball team have been dominating their season, especially our girls' basketball. As a matter of fact, our basketball plays against Nottingham this week. Hopefully they win, no pressure. Moving from sports, Hamilton West also has a robust and engaging arts program and extracurriculars. The Hamilton West Vocal Choir is currently hosting their winter concert at West. It is supposed to begin at 7 p.m., so maybe after this meeting, if it's not too late, you can swing by and check it out if you want. Our other clubs have also been consistently meeting. The Math Club just recently hosted a district-wide meeting, while other groups like the Marching Bands and Robotics Club are working hard for their spring competitions. In regards to clubs, 2 new clubs have started at West, the D&D Club and the Crocheting Club, making West have a total of 3 brand new student-led clubs this year. How exciting! On the topic of arts and clubs, West Drama Club is gearing up to put on a riveting adaptation of The Addams Family sometime in mid-March. West has hosted engaging events this month in hopes of fostering communication and connection between students and the community. First, West hosted a lunch with Santa last Saturday, which was led by the PTA. They had a slew of activities for kids, from face painting to pictures with Santa and the Grinch. Everything was just so amazing. And I would just like to say I was there last week and I can verify all the kids had a fabulous time. There were a few screams when the Grinch came out, but overall it was pretty spectacular. Lastly, Hamilton West has been holding a Spirit Week this week. We had Flannel Day on Monday, Red and White Day today, and tomorrow's Character Day. And I personally cannot wait for Crazy Sweater Day tomorrow. Since the seniors want Spirit Week, we will be having a movie day tomorrow, and that will close off on our Spirit Week before our break. Thank you, and happy holidays.
Thank you, Ms. Ajay. Can we have Ms. Simpson?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Melissa Simpson, and I am speaking on behalf of Steiner High Schools. From late November up until now, our winter sports have started, racking in many wins from the wrestling, basketball, and swim teams. We were fortunate enough to have our winter band concert on 12/13, as well as our vocal concert on 12/20. Steiner recognized students of excellence with an academic awards ceremony and breakfast. On Thanksgiving Day, our football team held the annual football game, and of course, Steiner beat West. Our cheerleaders also donated their time, effort, and finances to Joey's Little Angels. Our 9th and 10th grade students celebrated DAP Week, being invited to impactful assemblies that inspire students not to go down bad paths. Steiner's Model Congress participated in the New Jersey Model Congress Party Day, with our very own Alexander DeFalco winning the whip for the Republican Party, as well as Logan York winning the whip for the Democratic Party. Our marine biology class also made a trip to Key Largo. Our foods class, taught by Mrs. Gore, held the annual Gingerbread House contest, where students showed off their culinary and creative talents, as well as bonded with each other. This month, Steiner also administered the state driver's test, preparing the next generation of young drivers. That is all for now. May everyone have a happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Simpson. And Ms. Brick?
Good evening. I'm happy to share the recent successes and upcoming events that have been shaping our school community at Nottingham. Highlighting the social aspect of our school, the Junior-Senior Social held at Cooper's on December 2nd was a resounding success, with over 100 students in attendance, creating a memorable night for all. Our recent event, Cookies with Santa, was an overwhelming success. With the support of numerous volunteers and a good turnout, the event was a heartwarming celebration embodying the spirit of the holiday season. In the realm of athletics, our boys basketball teams, varsity, JV, and freshmen, have made an impressive start to the season, boasting a 3-0 record. Their determination, teamwork, and resilience are setting the stage for a promising season ahead. Celebrating a remarkable victory, our boys swim team achieved a significant milestone by securing a win against Hightstown, marking their first victory against them in over a decade. This accomplishment reflects their hard work and dedication to their sport. We also take pride in acknowledging the outstanding achievement of Callie Holiday, who shattered the shot put record by throwing an incredible distance of 39 feet. Her exceptional performance has rightfully positioned her as current #1 ranked athlete in the state, showcasing her dedication and talent. Amidst our vibrant school spirit, we are currently immersed in Spirit Week, leading to our much anticipated pep rally this Friday. These events serve as a testament to the unity and enthusiasm of our student body, fostering a sense of school spirit. Our recent vocal concert was a resounding success, featuring the remarkable talents of our students. Their performance showcased their dedication to the arts and their incredible musical abilities, leaving a lasting impression on all who attended. Today, we are having the winter instrumental concert going on in the auditorium, where our talented band and orchestra members will take center stage, continuing the tradition of excellence in musical performances at our school. Furthermore, our recent college admissions panel on December 4th featured representatives from various colleges, aiding our students in navigating the complexities of the application process and providing guidance for their future academic plans. Last week, our school community graciously welcomed the Marines during lunch periods with students actively volunteering, showcasing our commitment to the service and engagement within our community. Lastly, through the dedication of our PTSA members and Nottingham community, we actively have been able to volunteer at the Trenton Area Soup Kitchen. Personally engaging in this event alongside school members like Dr. Rocco, Principal Ragazzo, and Vice Principal Dr. Persichetti has enforced our commitment to making a positive impact. Volunteering has been heartwarming, providing immense pride and joy during these hard times while the holidays are around the corner. I eagerly anticipate continued involvement, knowing the profound difference we can make together. Happy holidays and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brick. At this time, I'm going to ask if we can have a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes.
Whereas NJSA 10:4-13 requires adoption of the board to go into executive session. Be it resolved that the board pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, New Jersey, Title 18A, and the Hamilton Township Board of Education Bylaw Number 0166, hereby enter executive session to discuss a matter involving student matters, human resource matters, and matters falling under the attorney-client privilege. Be it further resolved that the minutes of this executive session shall be made public following formal action by the board and/or at the conclusion of any investigation, due process, proceedings, or litigation, so long as not prohibited by law, and so long as the need for maintaining confidentiality no longer exists. We will try to be very brief and be out shortly. I have a motion to close the executive session.
I make a motion to close the executive session.
I have a second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you. Okay, at this time, we're going to continue with our presentations. Dr. Rocco?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for waiting for us as we went into closed session. Tonight, we have a second presentation here. Our Mercer County Prosecutor, Angelo Onofre, is here with some of the folks he works with. Every couple of years, Mr. Onofre comes and does a presentation to the Board of Education and then to the public. These presentations are vital to our understanding of what's happening outside in our community, some of the difficulties that we're having, some of the issues that our community is faced with, and more particularly about what we should be looking for to make sure that our children are protected. Mr. Onofre has been a great friend to the Board of Education in helping us, and welcome to the Board of Education.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and I'll be quick. Every 6 minutes in the United States, someone is dying of an overdose. And we are seeing our share here in Mercer County. And we just, tonight, and tonight is really due in complete measure to Richard Kanka, who said that we needed this presentation. So Richard, thank you for having us here. But we're going to show you some of the drug trends that are going on involving heroin, fentanyl, xylazine, and a new drug that's out called 2C. And we are going to show you some videos, not to disturb you, but just so you can see the effects that these have. And doing the presentation tonight is Sergeant Tom Paglione from our Special Investigations Unit. Tom's a graduate of Hamilton High School West, and I turn it over to Tom.
Good evening. On behalf of Prosecutor Onofre, I think we're all excited to over here. All right. I'm not used to using a microphone. I have a loud voice as it is, but we'll try to go through this as quick as we can. But we are excited to be here. Thank you for having us. The purpose to be here is to talk about fentanyl and how the epidemic that's taken over our country and especially our region that we live in, as well as some current drugs or current trends that are affecting our area today. And oh. Gotcha. Thank you, I think. All right. So we're going to start off with a brief video just to show you what, or explain to you what we're talking about here today. So this is an officer from San Diego, I believe. Okay, he's already made an arrest. Okay, he's worn the proper. He's handling
All 6, Army 1141 for my partner. You all right, dude?
He does have glasses covering his eyes. He's wearing rubber gloves.
All 6, code cover.
However, he's just throwing powder.
Wake up. Hey, buddy.
Remember those for 91 Pulse 6?
Yes, code cover.
Code cover for 91 Pulse 6, you tell me.
All 6, I need 1141, code 3.
Come far. Unit for 435.
Hey, buddy. Just breathe, buddy. Breathe. 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 It's all right. Breathe.
Right now, his partner is administering Narcan. He immediately senses what's taking place here and the severity of what's happening.
It's all right. It's all right, buddy. You're okay. Breathe. 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 It's okay. I got you. I got you. Breathe. Breathe.
91 6 from here at 435.
It's okay. Breathe. It's okay. Breathe. It's okay. Give me the air. I need Narcan. I've already administered 2.
So far, administered 2 Narcan.
It's okay. Just keep breathing. Focus, buddy. Focus. Focus.
Got it.
Just focus. We're in the back parking lot of the mortuary.
In the back parking lot of the mortuary.
It's okay. I got you. You're going to be all right.
So far.
There you go. Just breathe. Focus on breathing, buddy.
5 a minute
You're
out.
okay. You're okay. Bye-bye. You okay? Talk to me. Oh, no. Don't be sorry. You're okay. Don't be sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about. I got you, okay? I'm not going to let you die. I'm not going to let you die. It's okay.
It's important to know here that this officer knew what he was handling. He did have protective eyewear on. He did have protective gloves on. Okay, he could have wore a mask, but that stuff isn't always available to you. Okay, and this still took place. All right. So a lot we're going to talk about here today is prescription pills. Going through the Hamilton Public School System, we had DARE growing up. I don't know if that's still there today. We talked a lot about marijuana being a gateway drug. Is marijuana a gateway drug? It certainly is. It certainly can be. However, prescription pills is what I believe is the biggest danger that we face today. Right now, we're going to show you a short video on what taking a prescription pill actually does to your body and your bloodstream.
A drug is a chemical or biological substance that affects the body and its functions. Drug absorption is when a drug enters the bloodstream. The level of absorption can affect the speed and the quantity of the drug at the site of action. This is termed bioavailability. If a tablet releases the drug quickly, blood levels may become too high, whereas slow release may result in low levels of absorption. Additional factors affecting absorption and bioavailability include the properties of the drug and the physiology of the person, such as pH levels in the stomach and its speed of emptying. Therefore, specific formulations are used to release the drug at the desired speed. Common formulations include tablets, capsules, suppositories, transdermal patches, and solutions. Drug metabolism is the process by which the body breaks down drugs, which mainly occurs by means of enzymes located in the liver. Many factors, including intake of specific foods and other drugs, can increase or decrease the speed at which drugs are broken down, and thus determine their levels within the blood. A drug may be broken down to stop it from working. However, there are other drugs that need to be broken down or modified before they become active. These are known as prodrugs. Some drugs are directly eliminated from the body by the kidneys in urine. For this to happen, the drug must be water-soluble. Drugs that are not water-soluble may be metabolized by the liver or enzymes in the blood into breakdown products that can be eliminated in urine. Diseases that affect the liver or the kidneys can cause blood levels of a drug to increase.
All right, so that's just a short overview right there. Okay, here we have, this is a kilo of fentanyl. Okay, this was seized directly from the Sinaloa Hotel, okay, in Mexico. Majority of the fentanyl that comes into our country is coming from Mexico and China. Okay, that's where almost 95% of the fentanyl is coming from. Okay, when I look at this, what I see is I see that 460. Okay, that mark. Majority of the fentanyl is being marked between, I'll have a number on it, between 250 up to 800. And all that's doing is signifying the purity of that fentanyl. Okay, you'll also see a brand on there. You'll see I believe that says Ferrari. Okay, a Ferrari symbol. All that is a branding tool. Okay, they're marketing their business. Make no bones about it. Okay, dealing narcotics is a business. Okay, we're going to get into the brand name in a little bit. All right, so what is fentanyl? Okay, all right, fentanyl is a synthetic opioid. It's about 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. Majority of the fatal overdoses that take place in our country have to do with fentanyl. All right, so some current trends here when we're talking about narcotic sales. All right, when I first started working in narcotics, almost every narcotics transaction was a hand-to-hand. Cell phones have completely changed the game. Okay, now with PayPal, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all that stuff. Okay, you're able to make an electronic payment without actually, changing hands. Anybody that has an iPhone or has ever dropped a PIN before, okay, this is now a real trend that is being very difficult for law enforcement to keep up with. Where you will have the drug dealer actually drop a PIN, okay, for the location where he is going to leave the drugs. Okay, the monetary transaction will take place, okay, over the cell phone through Cash App or Venmo or whatever it is, and they actually never meet. Okay, they never meet. It makes it very, very difficult for law enforcement. All right, so there are some drugs that are always going to be around. They've been around long before me, and unfortunately, they're probably going to be here long after me. Okay, and it all starts with prescription pills. I'm going to show you a short video next, just as a current fad that we're seeing with prescription pills. The first sign of abusing prescription pills is going to be to pulverize that pill. Okay, why would anybody want to pulverize a pill? I just showed you a short video prior about a time release. Okay, on prescription medication. Okay, the reason why you're going to pulverize a pill is obviously because it's going to go into your bloodstream a lot faster. Okay, as a user, you don't want to wait for that. You don't want to wait for that time release. Okay, you want it immediately. Okay, this is one way that we're seeing our youth do this now.
All right, we just found out a new way to crush meds in a syringe. So this is only a 5 ml. Look at this pill, pretty good size. I won't even break it, it's in there, whole. Okay. Did you show them? I did. That's my mom helping me out with the video. Okay, look, I'm gonna draw up like 2 cc's. Okay, that big pill and 2 cc's. Then you get the air out, you plug it with your thumb. This is the coolest part. And then you pull back on the plunger and you just let it hit there. And after one little hit, it's already, and you just do this a couple times. Imagine how easy tube feeds would be.
Now.
Okay, 2,500. What does 2,500 mean? What does it signify? Okay, so in the United States, 2,500 use between the ages of 12 and 17 years old. We use a prescription drug, okay, for the very first time for the purposes of getting high, okay? All right, so which prescription drugs are commonly used? So you have 3 different types of prescription drugs, okay? You have your opioids, okay, which are going to be used to treat pain. They're your Percocet, okay, your Oxycontin, probably your most common, all right? Then you're going to have your anxiety medication, okay, that affects your central nervous system, your Xanax, your Valium, okay, your Ativan, followed by your stimulants, okay, your Ritalin, Adderall, okay. So those are your most common prescription pills that are really abused. Okay, so as a narcotics detective, okay, when I see this, a couple things stand out at me. So these are some tablets of Oxycontin. The number on the back signifies the milligram. So the way my mind is hardwired is I always go to what is that going to cost on the street? Again, because this is always a business, right? So immediately I know based on my experience that the tablet that has 20 on there, typically on the street, is going to go for about $1 a milligram. Okay, so that's a $20 tablet on the street. The one just below that, it has an 80 mark on it. Okay, that's an $80 tablet. Now this has been a huge issue. Okay, within the last 5 years or so. Okay, the FDA has done a better job of trying to manage this. It's very difficult to find a tablet like this on the street. Okay, an 80 milligram tablet. Typically, if anybody has had surgery or been prescribed prescription pills in this room, nowadays, most of the time, you'll see about a 5 milligram tablet, maybe a 10 milligram tablet. Okay, and that's basically to try to curb the epidemic that we see now, because in my opinion, this is where it's all started. Okay, Vicodin, all right, another common tablet. All right, and then Percocet, here's your 5 milligram tablet right here. There is a resource out there that you can Google right now on your cell phone, www.pillfinder. On the street, we use it constantly, okay, because I can't tell you how many prescription drugs that I've come across on the street. I have no idea what it is, no idea. All you need to do is put the size of the tablet, okay, the shape of the tablet, the color, and then the markings on there. It's going to tell you immediately what that tablet is. In law enforcement, especially the guys and girls that I work with, we use it constantly. You can use it right at home. If you come across something with your son or daughter that you don't know what it is, or you have any questions, it's a tremendous resource to use, and it's available right on your cell phone. I briefly talked about this. The video that you saw where the kid ingested the pill with the syringe, this is the same concept. This is just taking a pill and pulverizing it, and all it is because you don't want it to get in your bloodstream to avoid the time delay, the time lapse. All right. So this is something that we see all the time. This is the first sign that there is a problem. Okay. Somebody that needs to do this is the first sign that there is a problem. A lot of times they'll put it into a corner of a plastic bag. Okay, and then they'll pulverize it in the corner of the plastic bag. This is so the powder doesn't go all over the place. Okay, they're keeping everything in the plastic bag. And then they're just grinding the pill up, as you can see here. All right. Puffing, this is smoking a pill. It is not as common as, we don't typically see it as much, okay, but all this is basically placing the pill on tin foil, applying heat, and then drawing the smoke through an ingestion device, okay, that's all it is. Does it happen? Do we see it? Yes. Is it extremely common? It's not extremely common, okay, and then injecting a pill. So this is, if you're going to inject a pill, there's a real problem here. Have we seen it? Yes, but again, if you're going to do something like this, you've already moved to that next step, which is heroin. Okay, typically if you're going to do something like this, you move to that next step, which is what we're going to talk about now. All right. Okay, so basically what we have on the screen in front of you is you have a deck of heroin or a bag. That's a single dosage unit. That's going to go anywhere between $3 and $7 on the street. Okay. Next, we have a bundle of heroin, which is going to be 10 decks or bags. Okay, 10 individual doses of heroin. That's going to be wrapped together in a rubber band. Okay, 5 bundles taped together, put together as a brick. Okay, a brick of heroin. Unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but the geographical location that you live in, we have the most potent heroin in the entire country. Okay, in the entire country. There's a couple of reasons for that. One of that is because we have a major seaport that's about 45 minutes away from here. We also sit between New York and Philadelphia. Okay, so just because of our geographical location is a major factor. Okay, but we have the cheapest and most potent heroin in the entire country. You'll see on the bundle there and the single dosage unit, you'll see some stampings. Okay, that is a brand. Okay, that is a drug dealer will use that as a brand. So for instance, if a user is to say Nike, and that is a brand that that particular user gets an incredible high from, they will seek that out. They will seek that brand out. Okay, again, this is a business. The day after Kobe Bryant passed, okay, the very next day, our unit executed a search warrant. We recovered a stamp with Kobe that was written across it with a helicopter. Okay, they are branding this tool. Unfortunately, they're branding it towards the youth. Okay, it's unfortunately, this is a real photo. This is two parents, okay, that overdosed in the car, okay, with obviously a young child in the back. This is just to show you the level of addiction that we're talking about here today. Right here, we have brown heroin and we have white heroin. And a lot of people say, well, which one's more potent? The difference is it all depends what it's cut with. We're here today because we're talking a lot about trends with fentanyl. Okay, so now almost everything, okay, is going to be cut with fentanyl. When I first started in narcotics, okay, all of our drugs go to the state police laboratory for testing. Almost everything came back as heroin. Okay, now it's rare to see stuff come back as heroin. It's almost all coming back as fentanyl or 4-APP, which is another synthetic form of fentanyl, or another drug that we're going to talk about shortly. Okay, black tar heroin. This is a better photograph of black tar heroin. Black tar heroin is almost a derivative or the leftover or the shake of heroin. So, and we typically don't see black tar heroin in this geographical location, and that's because our heroin is so pure. Okay, like I said before, we have the purest heroin in the entire country. So for us to see it here is rare. It's more of a Midwest thing. However, this was a seizure that we recovered, okay, a little while ago. It is here. It's just not as prevalent as fentanyl, okay, or heroin would be. Okay, methods of abuse. So obviously you can ingest heroin or fentanyl through your nasal cavity. There is, and that's usually how it starts. Okay, you'll see a rolled up dollar bill there. Okay, I can tell you from my experience, I have never met anybody, okay, with a good reason to manipulate money. Most of the time you'll see money that's rolled up like that, or you'll see, when we've had to search individuals, okay, you'll see where they actually fold up money and conceal narcotics inside the money. Where it'll be folded up, you'll find it in their wallet. Every time I've come across folded up money, I've located narcotics inside. So as far as we're here at a school board meeting, coming across your children at a school, if you see money that's manipulated in any way regarding your policies and procedures, it might be a time to ask some more questions. Filters, okay? This next slide will help me describe the filter a little bit better. Okay, so ingesting heroin. All right, basically, you'll see the water bottle caps everywhere. All they're doing is they're pouring a little bit of water in the water cap, okay? They're undoing the wax fold or the bag of heroin, pouring the powder in there, and then they're gonna pull that through the syringe and ingest it. Those filters, okay, would be used to from a user standpoint, to take out the impurities in the heroin. But have we seen it? Yes, we have seen it. It's something to take note of. However, unfortunately, we have the purest heroin in the entire country, okay? So it's not as common as you would think. All right, this next slide is a couple of injection spots. All right, this was an individual, typically from speaking, a lot of my information comes from doing this on a daily basis, speaking to both users, speaking to dealers, wiretap information, okay? We've been on quite a few wiretaps. So this is where we get our information from, okay? From speaking to users, a lot of times they will find a particular vein that they get the most high from, and they will continue to use that vein, okay? Until eventually, obviously, something as horrible as this happens where you get an infection and you blow your vein out. I'm gonna show you a short video here. Okay, this is a typical trap house that you can see in an inner city. The purpose of showing that video is to show you that oftentimes our users, they physically can't wait to actually ingest it. Okay, so she literally came out from just buying this heroin, okay, and she immediately couldn't wait to ingest the drug. Cocaine, okay, we are now seeing cocaine laced with fentanyl and xylazine, which we're gonna talk about shortly, okay? We have found it in almost every drug possible. So cocaine is going to be sold in a couple different ways. You can be a dip sale where you actually have a chunk of cocaine in your hand and you're actually going to use your fingernail to pull off a piece, okay, and sell that. Often that's so you don't have any paraphernalia on you, okay? You don't have a scale on you. You don't have baggies on you, okay? If law enforcement were to up on you, it's easy to discard, okay? Those are some resources or some reasons why, okay? Also, they're sold like this most commonly, okay, with the prepackaged baggies. These are going to be either gram or half gram sales, okay? That the dime is there to signify the size. All right, this is a piece of crack cocaine. Crack cocaine or cocaine, it's still cocaine, okay? Not going to get into the whole cooking process in this form right here, but it's usually an off-white color. It'll have some craters to it most of the time, okay? These are some common ingestion devices right here. Typically, there'll be a rubber band on there or a Brillo pad. The Brillo pad acts like a filter. Okay, so the piece of crack cocaine that's actually to go in that pipe, it's going to be about half the size of a pea. So if you can imagine a pea, cut that in half, okay, and that is what you are ingesting. Okay, that Brillo pad right there is so you don't actually suck that piece of crack cocaine through and swallow it. Okay, there's a push rod there too to keep it moving. Okay, meth. All right, we're even seeing it cut with meth as well. Do we have a problem with meth here in this geographical location? Yes, we do. If you go over the bridge to Bucks County, okay, it's a lot worse. The reason why we don't see it as much is, again, is because we have the purest heroin. A lot of the trends that we're talking about here I'm referring to our area, Mercer County. You step out of Mercer County, you step out of the state of New Jersey, okay, those trends are going to change. Okay, so what we're talking about here is what we are seeing here. All right, it's going to look like some shards of glass. All right, and these are the effects that it could take just in a year and a half. Okay. Marijuana. All right, so everybody says marijuana, it's no big deal. Okay, and you can have your own opinions about marijuana. The issue that I have is now we're seeing marijuana laced with fentanyl and xylazine frequently. So you don't actually know what you are ingesting. This is wax butter or dab. This is for your hardcore marijuana user. So this is actually extracting the purest part, okay, of the THC from the plant. And then basically you're going to apply heat source with this. It's going to burn off. But this is what I would compare this to as smoking what you think is regular marijuana to, if you're going to associate it with beer, it'd be like a Miller Lite or a Coors Light, or this is you're chugging straight Everclear. Okay, so this is for your very hardcore marijuana user. This is another example of it. Okay, so vaping. Well, the current trends that we are seeing with vaping is everybody like it's no big deal. I know that there's a problem in the schools with vaping, but the issue is now your THC vape pens. Okay, we are now seeing fentanyl and xylazine. Okay, actually in those vape pens. So that is a major issue. And then I know that the whole issue with legalizing marijuana, and you have your shops that everything's supposed to be regulated. However, these are being sold in bodegas and your vape shops that aren't supposed to be legally selling THC. So they're out there, okay? And basically the kids they're getting a hold of it, and we've seen it firsthand. So it's certainly something to take note of. LSD. All right, these are microdots and gel tabs, but really the most common where we see LSD is on blotter paper, what we look as stamps. So right here we have a $100 bill. There's actually 100 sheets of acid or LSD on there. Okay, and all you're going to do is you're going to put it on your tongue and ingest it like that. This is most common. You could come across something like this and have no idea what it is. It's fat soluble, which is why most of the time it's wrapped up in tinfoil. Okay, it's odorless and colorless, which is why you can also see it in food coloring. Okay, that's why it'll be in food coloring, because it gives it a color to it. So when you are putting on that blotter paper, you can see exactly what you're doing. That's why it also could be on a sugar cube, so you can see exactly what you're doing. Okay, the problem with this is this high can last for a couple hours. It can last for a couple weeks. You have no idea. Okay? Ecstasy. The amount of things that we've seen come back from the laboratory that we think is ecstasy is out of control. We've seen it come back as meth, fentanyl, heroin, Molly, which is pretty much the same thing. Okay, so you have no idea what you are ingesting when it comes from ecstasy, and 95% of it is being produced in Mexico. These are just tablets right here. So This slide right here, you'll see pacifier, just some signs to look out for, stuff like that. This is going to overheat your body, right? And it also, basically, a lot of times you'll see a user of ecstasy kind of grind your teeth. That's where you'll see the pacifiers, okay, the lollipops, stuff like that. PCP. PCP has an extremely strong odor. Extremely strong odor. You will know if you come into contact with PCP because that odor will not leave you. Okay, it's almost always sold on a Sherm stick, which is going to look something like that. Okay, basically all they do is they dip the PCP into cigarette. Most commonly, it's a Newport or a menthol for the cooling sensation. Okay, and a lot of times it's concealed in a vanilla extract bottle. Why that is, I don't know, but I can tell you that most of the times when I've come into contact with it, it's been in a vanilla extract bottle. Okay. Also, this is going to increase your body temperature. You're going to sweat. A lot of the people that we've come into contact with as users, okay, they're naked, okay, and they're profusely sweating. There's a presumption that it gives you superhuman strength. That's incorrect. It actually just doesn't allow you to feel pain. So you're coming in contact with somebody that's usually has no clothes on or very little clothes on, profusely sweating, and does not feel pain. That is the problem that we deal with law enforcement when you come into contact with somebody with PCP. 2C or 2CB, okay, this is a fad. It is coming over the border in bunches. It's a huge problem in New York. We have seen it here, and it is coming, okay? It is certainly coming. It's one of the trends that we wanted to talk about with today. It's basically implied an upper and a downer, okay? It's mixed together, okay? And it's like a hallucinogenic, okay? It is coming. It is going to be a major, major issue. Xylazine or Trank. This is already here. It's already here. It's a major, major issue. It's a sedative. It's basically a sedative that's used with the vet. It has a medical purpose. It's used in animals. It's for sedation purposes. It is found in about 30% of the fentanyl that we have seized. So the fentanyl and heroin that we have seized, it's in about 30% of it. Okay, if you've ever seen somebody unfortunately to come across with a dope nod, okay, this usually has a big reason behind that. And lastly, right here, this is just a little video of some individuals of a documentary that was done on Trank.
People kind of like walking around looking like animals when their knuckles are touching the ground, and you're like, what's going on?
It's being called the deadliest drug threat in the U.S.
Everybody was dying. Everybody just started just dying.
A lethal combination. Animal sedatives laced into street drugs.
Close to 50% of our overdoses have xylazine now.
Turning users into the walking dead.
Trank puts you straight to sleep. There's nothing like heroin, and it destroys your body.
It's the drug itself which is causing necrosis. It's causing the skin to die.
Now, it's infiltrating our area.
Have you heard of any Trank being in the dope in New York City?
Absolutely, yeah. Xylazine is dangerous, is deadly, it is here.
This just happened to be a one-time thing for her, and it killed her.
Mary Murphy with a Pix 11.
There was a lot of information there. I tried to do my best to keep that in 30 minutes. It was very, very difficult for me because I could have went on and talked about this for hours. Does anybody have any questions? All right, this last slide I'll leave on here is just an example of the pill finder that I was talking about. Okay, if you come across, it's a tremendous resource. On behalf of Prosecutor Onifrey and the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, it was a privilege for me to be here and explain this to you. I can leave my contact information if there's anything you want to talk about offline, and I greatly appreciate being here. Thank you.
Thanks. We just wanted to mention one thing for the parents in the audience and the parents that may be watching tonight. One of the trends that we're seeing throughout the county is something called a farm party. And the farm party is where young people will bring any prescription medications that they find in the medicine cabinet, dump it in a bowl, and they will take handfuls of it. One of the local municipalities had at least 6 overdoses in the beginning of September. So again, it's a trend. And for parents out there, please keep track of your medications. If you're not using something, you're prescribed Vicodin or oxycodone for a medical procedure that you had, please take those unused pills to your local police department. They have drop boxes there, and they'll be safely destroyed. So thanks, everybody.
Just want to thank Mr. Onifrey and the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office for the presentation tonight. I know this information can be scary information. It can be information we might not want to hear, but it is important for all of us to be educated for our community, educated for our students. Based on the information that's provided by the Prosecutor's Office, people that are going out, including our students, and buying things, thinking they're buying something that is a certain drug, is not. And it's important to understand that this is a dangerous situation for our community, and the better educated we are, the more we can help each other. So thank you, Angelo. Thank you to your team for coming tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Rocco. So we're going to get back onto our agenda, and I will ask for announcements. So Dr. Rocco, your superintendent's report.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations. I want to congratulate Reynolds 8th grade social studies teacher Robert Schulte for winning the 2022 State History Teacher of the Year Award by the New Jersey Sons of American Revolution. This allowed Mr. Schulte to move on, and we have received word that he is the 2023 Dr. Tom and Betty Lawrence History Teacher of the Year, a national level award. So congratulations to him. I'd like to also congratulate Nottingham PTSO. Over the last several weeks, the PTSO has organized volunteer time at the Trenton Area Soup Kitchen. My wife and I volunteered there yesterday with several people from Nottingham High School, including our representative, Vanessa Brick, who mentioned this in her report. It's a wonderful opportunity to give back to our community during the holiday season, but I'd encourage our entire community to volunteer throughout the year. And I'll be back at task in 2024. I'd like to congratulate Grace's Gladiator Cafe for their annual holiday luncheon. Attending events at the Gladiator Cafe is always a highlight of my week, and I know a number of you also attend the Gladiator Cafe. Congratulations to Wilson Elementary School on a successful family movie night. Wilson faculty and staff put on that movie night for their parents and their students. Congratulations to Steiner Spartan wrestlers Matt Matola, Anthony Gigolo, Alex Hart, and Elliot Morris for placing first in the Blue Devil Classic. Matt Matola also took home the MVP of the tournament. There was a mention by our West student rep about our female wrestling program, and I'd like to congratulate our Steiner girls Spartan wrestlers Dana Volp and Ella Johnson, who placed third at the Bloomfield Wrestling Tournament. A huge thank you to WBCB Radio for broadcasting many of our high school sports. They have a full slate of broadcasting for this winter. If you can't make a game, it's probably being broadcast by BCB's Facebook page. I'd like to also congratulate our Teachers of the Year and ESPs of the Year. We'll be recognizing them at an upcoming Board of Education meeting and a dinner. Some upcoming events. DCR will be meeting in January, on January 16th, at Wilson Elementary School at 5 p.m. Hard to believe, but kindergarten registration will open on January 22nd. More information will be online. Even harder to think about this, on February 1st, our summer camp registration will open. It's hard to believe, but we are doing that. World Read Aloud Day is February 7th, and we will broadcast that live from my office. Teacher of the Year recognition, which I just mentioned before, will be on February 8th at Stone Terrace. And this is a dinner sponsored by our Ed Foundation and HTEA. Some school calendar event items to keep in mind. Friday, the 22nd, this will be a half day, or also known as a one-session day. Parents, please see the dismissal times because students will be home early that day. December 23rd through January 1st, all of our buildings and offices will be closed for winter break. Schools will reopen on January 2nd, and on January 4th, we will have our Board of Education reorganization meeting at 5:30 at Hamilton High School West. I've talked each month about our focus on improvement, and I've talked about our slogan for the year being Every Day Counts. As part of making every day count, we've emphasized improving school attendance across all of our schools. 95% of our schools are below 20% of the chronic absenteeism rate. We're especially proud of the work at our secondary division where we've seen a dramatic drop in chronic absenteeism. During the first 3 months of the school year, 50% of our secondary schools have a chronic absenteeism rate below 15%. The state rate is about 18 to 18.6. We have continued our vigilance on school safety measures across the district in addition to our school absenteeism work, and we'll give some more detail about that second part at an upcoming meeting. Our Special Education Parent Advisory Group, or CPAG, will have its next meeting on February 27th. These meetings have been very successful this year, and I thank the Special Ed Department for organizing them. There'll be meetings on April 23rd and May 13th, and as I've mentioned before, May 13th will be our second Whole Child Fair, and more information will be coming on that. Our District School Calendar Committee met on December 18th, and we have a draft calendar for the following year. That draft calendar will be going through a review by the Board of Education members and through various unions in our district, which is part of their contractual obligation. As part of this draft calendar, we sent out a survey. We received 1,293 responses, and I want to say to you, the calendar committee looked at those responses, discussed those responses, and looked for trends. And although we cannot take into account every one of those requests, we do thank you for your comments. Our District Community Relations Committee meeting is coming up, and I know Dr. McSheen will have some detail on that. The Facility Strategic Planning Committee met this week also, and they will continue their work into the new year. NJMTSS, or New Jersey Multi-Tiered System of Supports, is a program that we have at all of our elementary schools, and we are implementing interventions in morphology and phonemic awareness. The first part of this school year, we plan on collecting data to determine the effectiveness of interventions next month when we administer the second iReady benchmark, and we'll have more details on that as we move forward. We continue our Difference Makers campaign, and up to this point this year, we have recognized 63 people in our community as HTSD difference makers, and anybody can recognize a difference maker, and that person will receive a certificate, a letter, a sticker, and a thank you card. A couple of school counseling guidance updates. The high school guidance department held their first One Hamilton post-secondary event on Monday, December 4th, right here at Nottingham High School. The event was well attended and featured a panel of college admission experts. This event was part of our Senior Success Week, which was held at each of our high schools, featuring instant decision days and college application completion, financial aid information, information about alternative post-secondary opportunities, and that includes military and trade service. Our next One Hamilton event will be held at Hamilton High School West on Monday, February 12th at 6:30. Save the date for our post-secondary planning night for junior students and their families. One final One Hamilton event for the year will be held on Monday, April 15th at 6 p.m. at Steiner High School. Our College and Career Fairness will feature representatives from colleges, military, and the trades, as well as employers and organizations that will discuss part-time jobs, internship opportunities, and employment opportunities post-graduation. If you are a local business who would like to participate in our College and Career Fair, or if you are interested in offering shadowing or internship opportunities for our students, Please complete the survey found in the community update or reach out to Ms. Ferlato, our District Director of Guidance. Also a reminder, PSAT, MSSQT, and PSAT 9 scores are now available on your child's College Board account. Counselors have provided students with information on how to access these scores, as well as how to link to Khan Academy for free personalized test prep. Two last items. Tonight is the last meeting for Mr. Liam Gonzalez. I'd like to thank Liam for his service to the Board of Education and his commitment to our students, faculty, staff, and administration. And I would like to wish you the best as you continue your administrative career. Thank you for your service, Liam. On behalf of the Board of Education and the senior staff, we would like to recognize your last day with a plaque.
Thank you.
Finally, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and a joyous Kwanzaa to our HDSD faculty, staff, administration, and families. Let's continue to work together in 2024, keep a positive mindset, and make every day count in our schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rocco. Do any Board of Education members have any comments? Dr. Farrar?
So Dr. Rocco left me one. On December 2nd, we had a Day of Drones celebration that was co-sponsored by the district through the CNI department and the person who created Drone Legends, which we were the first district in the state to adopt. It was really a lot of fun. It happened at Steiner. There were drones zipping all over the gymnasium. Dr. Rocco looked like he was back in his childhood, sitting with kids, flying drones. Drones are amazing. They're an amazing tool, and they're doing lots of great things with drones. And we're hoping to have another Day of Drones again next year. And I wanted to especially close out this year with a positive note about reading, books, libraries, and the Hamilton community. Because while I was researching a story this month, I discovered that as of September of this year, Hamilton Township marked 100 years of having libraries. And I use libraries plural because that's how the Hamilton residents started spreading the joys of reading through many little libraries around the town. And the real heroes of the initiative were James W. Alexander, at the time the district superintendent of elementary schools, and the district's PTAs, which I think we can safely conclude that in the 1920s, they were PTA moms, the people who get things done. And the PTA members circulated petitions to get a question on the ballot about having township libraries. They secured enough signatures, and the ballot measure passed. So the library began operating in September of 1923 when small deposits of juvenile books were placed in each of the schools, and small collections of adult books were placed in library centers in 15 to 20 locations throughout the township. These centers were maintained on a voluntary basis in homes, stores, community houses, churches, firehouses, wherever community-minded people offered space and time. The books were rotated around the township locations. Scott Chianese, who is the current library director, remembers going to one on Route 33 in that little strip mall between Whitehorse Hamilton Square Road and Yardville Hamilton Square Road. By August of 1929, the main library was located in the basement of the municipal building on Greenwood Avenue, where it remained until the current library was built in 1975. And by June of 1924, the PTA moms rose again and asked for a summer reading program, the same summer reading program that continues today at the library. Many people housing adult books in the library centers came to the rescue and found space for children's books for the summer. The children were eager to read for pleasure. One mother said the books steadied her child. Another said the books opened roads and lanes in their minds that had only been rugged paths before. And one final note about James W. Alexander, who, yes, gives his name to Alexander School. He grew up in upstate New York in the Genesee Valley near Rochester. He attended Princeton University, which is likely why he remained in this area. He was born in 1869. He served the district from 1916 to 1939, 23 years. You have a few more to go, Dr. Rocco. He lived in this area for 45 years and died in 1962 at the age of 92. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Any other board members? Ms. Harvey.
Thank you. Just wanted to compliment Nottingham for a successful event of Cookies with Santa. I brought my children. I guess my mic's not working. And the children really enjoyed themselves at the high school. The high school students did a great job. They were elves. They were giving out crafts and cookies, and everyone had a great time. So I just wanted to compliment them. I know Ms. Burke mentioned it as well. Also, the PTA presidents had met, and just a report from them, they are still collecting food donations. If you have donations, you can bring them to Park Ave, or you can coordinate with your own PTA. There is a need for food so that we can get this up and running. If you have an organization like Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts or some other group that might collect food, there have been a few groups who have collected them and then brought them to Park Ave. So that's something that you can do. The last update from the PTA presidents is the PTA statewide Reflections Art Contest is underway. 3 schools in our district are sending winners to the next level of competition, which is the district-wide level of competition. So Langtree, Wilson, and Hamilton High West all have winners. Hopefully we can have a few more schools before the January 2nd deadline.
Thank you, Ms. Harvey. Ms. Harvey, in regards to the food initiative that the PTAs are doing, is there a specific place, or is it each individual school for perhaps a suggestion of a list of items that that could be donated?
There is each PTA is supposed to communicate that list. There is a set list, and I believe we can maybe try to link that, but there is a set list of staples that are requested, and that each PTA, you should go through your own school.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Any other board members? Ms. Soto.
I just wanted to quickly mention that I had the opportunity to attend Greenwood Elementary School's holiday concert last week. And much like University Heights and their talented second graders that performed for us this morning, the students there were just amazing. They also sang a compilation of songs from all over the world, highlighting different cultures. And I felt very proud to be a part of this district that really supports the arts from such a young age onto high school. As a parent, I had one who started in elementary school and played all through high school, and I now have a junior who's picking up an instrument for the first time. And it doesn't matter, what level a student is at. If they show an interest, our teachers are nurturing that. And I just wanted to congratulate all of the arts teachers in the district for the great work that they're doing. It's been an amazing holiday season. And I'm sorry to have missed Nottingham and Steinert's performances this evening, but I look forward to watching the videos.
Thank you, Ms. Soto. Any others? Okay, so we're going to move on to our committee reports. And can we start with Finance and Operation, Mr. Kanka?
No.
We can't start with you?
The Grinch.
The Facilities Committee met, Finance and Operations Committee met on...
Rich, can you get closer to the mic so we can hear you, please?
If I get any closer, I'll be on the other side of it.
That's good.
We met on December the 6th, and I want to thank the committee members who were there and senior staff who were there We started out with our initiative items, the ROD grant status, and we talked about the three high schools in, to be specific, west, east, and north, on the final eligible costs for roof replacement. It's not 100% replacement, but it's probably 90% of the roofs on all three schools. And those costs, the final costs, are on tonight's agenda for approval for our, that's going to be eligible for ROD grant money. And those numbers are: west is at 6.2, east is at 6.2, north is at $6.0 million for each of the high schools. And under the ROD grant program, I think up to 40% of that is eligible for reimbursement through the state, and the district is responsible for the balance. We also spoke about the revised quote for the Laylor HVAC project. That's on the agenda for tonight. That is going to be a $5.5 million project for Laylor School, which would include new unit ventilators, a ventilation system, for the multi-purpose room, cafeteria, library, main office, nurse's office, faculty room, and an electrical system upgrade for that school. So that's on tonight's agenda for approval. There was just a little bit of a snag with that project for Laylor because of a transformer issue with the utility company. So that project is going to probably it's going to probably take place over a 2-year time frame because of that transformer issue. Then we touched base on Spiesel to finalize the drawings and bids for all 4 of these projects. That is, I believe, just one of those is on the agenda tonight. I don't. And then we're at that time of year again for our annual audit. Our auditor will be in tentatively to come to our January meeting and do a presentation to the board and to the public for the fiscal year 23. The 24-25 budget calendar has been posted, and as always, we wait for the New Jersey Department of Ed to release the statewide calendar for the preliminary budget and for final budgets before they're due. And the committee will review the final budget calendar draft after the January reorg meeting. So, and as always, we're at the mercy of the state when those final numbers come out. So whenever they usually come out at the end of February, the first week of March or whatever, and then we have to hustle to get this stuff done, get the preliminary out, and then for the final, there may be a meeting change for the April meeting, so we get our numbers finalized before for the state by the due date. And there was some amended changes to our ESSER 3 monies for technology purposes and reallocating funds for, oh boy, interventionists for in-class tutoring service. I have to thank the board secretary for that nice long word. Thank you, Katie. We discussed the dire need for a school bus driver. We need substitute drivers. We spoke about it as we have bus drivers here in the district, but when somebody calls out sick, or even 2, I think we have 1 sub available, but if 2 people call out sick, we have a need that we have to fulfill here in case that happens. And it does happen more times than we wanted to happen. There was also discussion on a fencing bid around the whole football complex at East. And we're looking to get those, we're looking to receive those quotes, but the bid was over, the original bid was over the threshold, so it has to go out, the way I understand it. So we have to get, we have to submit, we have to get bids on that whole project. Because the threshold for a project is, I believe, $44,000, and this was over that threshold. Then we talked briefly about surplus property. There's several vehicles that have worn out their usefulness in the district, and they're going up for sale on a government website. And I believe that's all I had. Oh, and then Dr. Rocco came in. He had a prior commitment, but he came in later in the meeting and gave us his report update, an update on community updates and staff updates. So, and if any member of the board has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. If not, I'll get you the answers.
Do we have any questions for Mr. Kanka? Okay, I actually do have a question, if I may. I'm sorry. The Layler HVAC.
Yes.
So that is due to be updated, replaced. Is that due to age? Is that due to, it's just on the list of?
It's age.
So it's the age. So it's the base, the next one, okay.
Just like it was similar to what we did at Mercerville.
Not an issue due to non-functioning, just an issue to age
Well,
and
probably,
to
I don't know
maintenance of it, correct?
I don't know too much of the specifics, but I'm going to guess that it's the age of the equipment and availability of spare parts because of that age.
Okay, because I mean, as we are going into the colder season, and I know, sometimes we run into issues, I just want to make sure I am aware of one particular issue that I believe is being worked on, a heating issue currently, and if maybe perhaps we can get an update on that, and I believe it's here at Nottingham.
Okay.
So if we can get an update to where we are, if that
Can you
has
be
been
specific?
corrected. I believe that there is a portion of the building that the heat isn't working properly and that it is being attempted to be repaired. So I just want to make sure that where we are with that and an update to it, and if we could just.
Okay. All right, I'll be honest, the committee was not made aware of that.
Okay.
Well, they don't let us know everything that's going on.
And that's
throughout
why
the
I was just
district.
asking if it was in regards to age or if it was, that's why I was just asking for later, and that just was another question I had for here.
I actually have an item on that. There's a heating issue they've been working on with the team rooms, and they actually are going to try and do a fix over the break. So, and also, as you see, those who are in the audience, you also see that there's some drywall work that's being done, and that's being prepped for painting. So there's a lot of work that gets done over the winter break, but they are trying to get that heating issue fixed over the weekend, over the break. They think they have an idea with the controls and some other stuff that they're going to do. And it ties in with some work that was done previously with the steam piping. This piece was not done during that time.
Okay.
And the unit ventilators, I believe, Mrs. Atwood may have to correct me on this. We're converting that system from steam to hot water. And that's part of the project, to get those ventilators on hot water. That's a steam system over there. Am I correct?
At Layler?
Yeah.
Yes, at Layler.
Yeah, we're trying to eliminate all the steam we can and make it into hot water. And that's also part of the upgrades. There's going to be they call it it'll convert steam to hot water.
Okay.
It's a heat exchanger. Steam gets injected in, water is circulated through it, and then it's circulated out to the building through a pump system. So it's much more cost-effective, less breakdowns. We don't have to worry about steam traps, which at one time this district had well over 500-600 steam traps, which need to be maintained on a yearly basis. So we're trying to get away from that. Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Katie's
Kenka.
got something to say back there, and I bet you can't hear a thing he's saying, can you?
No, I can. I just wanted to add that we had an independent HVA assessment done of all of our systems when this federal money was coming available. Our architect did that, and that's how we identified Mercerville, Greenwood, First and Second, and Layler. Those top 3 STEAM systems were recommended for us to address initially, and that's how we picked them.
Thank you very much. Okay. Anyone else for Mr. Kenka?
I did have one more thing, but
Mr. Kenka, since you just gave your report for finance and operation, do we have anything for negotiations?
actually, no.
Okay. Okay.
It's a work in progress.
So if we can do curriculum and instruction, Dr. Ferrara?
How come I always have to go after the funniest man at the table? The CNI committee met on December 13th. Dr. McSheen and I were present. Mr. Scotto updated us on a couple of things. First of all, the new teacher induction program, which has been tweaked a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's helping our new teachers to the district work their way towards tenure. There's about 400 teachers in the program. They're doing lots of interesting things. And, we talk about helping our kids fill in gaps. Mr. Scotto is essentially helping our new teachers fill in gaps where there may be. So, for example, he talked to us about how he's working with some of the teachers on centers. And I remember very clearly that writing lesson plans for centers was relatively easy. It's managing children through like 3 or 4 or 5 centers in a classroom that is kind of an art. And so he's working on little things like that, which is great. He also talked to us about professional development for the winter, which Dr. Rocco must have had a big hand in because the focus is on artificial intelligence. And that's a big interest of Dr. Rocco's. And so most of the topics will be on that, or although technology will do some work with Google, and there will be a presentation on using Canva, which is a really interesting app. I've used it a couple times. The items that we discussed in committee that you're going to be asked to vote on tonight include motion number 7, which asks us to approve the carrying over of title funds from last year to this year. And this is a routine request. We do it every year. And motion number 8 asks that the board approve a proposal from Anchor House to provide school outreach programming at Crockett Middle School. Anchor House has brought this program to several of our other schools in the past. Feedback about the program has been positive, and the work involves providing student support with building life skills, helping students with strategies to manage anxiety, and helping to build resilience. And we were supposed to bring it to the floor last month, but we asked Ms. Ferlato to go back and check to make sure that everybody coming into the building was fingerprinted and background checked, and indeed they will be. So there should be no problem there. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Dr. Farrar. Do we have any questions? Okay. Dr. McSheen, would you like to do a DCR committee report?
Sure, extremely brief. We've had a couple of great DCR meetings this year. We did not meet in December because of the busy holiday season. So our next meeting will be January 16th at 5 p.m. at Wilson Elementary.
Okay. Great, thank you. So I will go through the Personnel Committee report. The Personnel Committee met on December 13th, and we did discuss various items. We did discuss, as was mentioned in the other committee reports, the Anchor House, as well as the ESSER 3 and ROD grants. We also discussed, which is an ongoing discussion that we have in personnel, different opportunities to recruit teachers and staff for the district. So we're always having those discussions, and I'd like to thank Dr. Copeland for his initiatives and and his dedication to the district, to filling most of our vacancies. And of course, we did discuss the vacancies that we currently have in the district and the ongoing efforts to fill those. That is actually all that I have for personnel. As I always say, personnel committee seems like I have a short report, but there are items that I cannot discuss for confidentiality purposes. So, does anybody have any questions for personnel? Okay, so we can move on to the monthly suspension report. Any questions? Mr. Kanka.
I scanned them briefly, and I noticed that there's an uptick in our suspensions this year over last year. I don't know why that is. Maybe the kids had an active summer this year, but I guess, I just want to bring it to the administration's attention.
Yeah, so we talk, and I'm going to turn this over in a second to Dr. Altobello, but we actually this month with my principals meetings have talked about behaviors, which is suspensions. And overall, the number of days have increased. In a number of buildings, the actual incidents, total incidents are starting to decrease. But what the principals are also saying is that there is a different atmosphere with kids in the buildings and interaction with students. But I'm going to let Dr. Altobello kind of go into the detail on the suspension report for a second.
Yeah, so if the board may remember, in the beginning of the year, we came to you with what we deemed to be enhanced security measures for the school. So we identified, in addition to bringing in the weapons detection system and bringing in the outside security and putting campus monitors at the elementary, in meeting with the administrators, we identified some very specific issues. For example, fighting and which resulted in staff members being involved and failing to follow a staff member's direction. We identified opening doors and allowing visitors into the building, unsolicited visitors, thus endangering the safety of students. And we took a very serious approach with those incidents, and we identified those as mandatory 9-day suspensions. We put that memo out to all of the students. We put that memo out to all of the families. So in the beginning of the school year, we saw an increase in the number of days where students were being suspended because they were testing the waters with respect to fighting, opening doors, things of that nature. So what Dr. Rocco is talking about is at this time, when you talk to the building level administrators, the incidence of students propping doors open is almost infinitesimal. It doesn't happen anymore, which is a good thing. The number of students who are engaging in physical altercations inside of the schools is down. But previously, a fight may have resulted in a student getting a 3-day suspension, where now it's an automatic 9-day suspension. So what we believe will happen moving forward, because the number of incidents are decreasing, our overall numbers of suspension for the year will be down. And I think if you were to ask Mr. Ragazzo if he were here, or you were to talk to Mr. Walker at Grice, the enhanced safety and the enhanced disciplinary measures that we are taking are having a dramatic effect. In fact, one of the things that we're talking about now is the number of kids who are cutting class and or leaving the lunchroom, and potentially looking at addressing that through some enhanced security measures as well, because the more time they are out in the hall, the less time they are in their academic classes, receiving the education that they are attempting. So we're on the right path. We expected an increase in the number of days simply by enhancing the response to those situations, but the number of fights that we're having are down. The number of situations where staff members have to engage with students is down. The number of students propping doors open and allowing unsolicited visitors into the buildings is down. And the other thing that is important is the number of board hearings we're having for students' misconduct that is so beyond the pale that requires a board hearing is down. So I would say that the numbers are deceiving with respect to what they're showing because of that. So I hope that answers your question, Mr. Kenka.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to need some slight clarification. Where I'm seeing the increase, a significant increase, is in the middle school. The high schools have really remained about the same from year to year. So I'm looking at the chart for the comparison from 22-23 to 23-24. And are you telling me that these are days and not incidences on this chart?
Every day of suspension is considered an incident of suspension on the chart that you're looking at.
So I have one school here that had 20 days in September. So that means it was 20 suspension days, or?
That means that the total number of students who were suspended for 20 days. So it could be 4 kids suspended for 5 days, or it could be
Okay.
1 kid suspended for 9, 1 kid suspended for 4. So it's the number of days. And remember, for schools, we classify both in-school and out-of-school suspensions as suspension. So anytime a student is removed from the educational setting, it is a day of suspension in accordance with state law.
Because I did notice it in one of the schools, I'm not going to pick on any school in particular, but of the 3 middle schools, the uptick in suspension days was very slight. But there was 2 schools that were in excess of almost maybe 75, 80%, and well over 100% in another school.
And that is because of the total number of days, the automatic number of days. So when we went to the automatic number of days for an occurrence, the principals actually stated their concern that these numbers would look higher. I just had a meeting with 2 of the principals, and although the number of days is higher, they feel that the message is out. Students have talked about the automatic days of suspension, and we've done other things to address that so students have resources and ways of expressing themselves in other ways than getting physical with each other or cutting a class or doing something like that. So
we could have, say, in the most extreme point or extreme case here, we could have multiple 9-day suspensions, which is adding to that list, but the incidences are down.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
And I think that right there, Mr. Kenka, is a summary of what you're seeing, is that the severity of offense is, the number of offenses is reducing. The severity of offenses that we're seeing result in a 9-day suspension now versus where we were before. So the total number of days students are being suspended is rising, but the number of incidents that are taking place is decreasing.
And I also think the severity of issues is exactly what Dr. Altobello said, has to be comparable to the number of board hearings we used to have versus what we're having now, right? And that's the combination of the change in discipline, but also the safety measures we've put in place. The evolved system, the retired law enforcement in security, having the campus monitors now down at the elementary levels, all kind of a package, and other things that we've done, but a package of security that also is helping with the discipline issues that are out there.
And I think the only other thing that I would say without going into specifics is it's important to remember that that at the secondary level, at the elementary level as well, but in accordance with the question you're asking, we have district level programs that take place in one building that house all students who require those programs in one particular building in the middle school and one particular building at the high school. So those individual schools may show an increased number of suspensions because the program, a particular program that's offered by the district is only housed in one of those buildings, but it houses individuals from all three of the schools who may need that program. So without going into specifics, that could skew the numbers for one of our middle schools and one of our high schools disproportionate to the other two on paper, but it is a district-wide program that could be being offered there, not a school-specific issue.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kanka, and thank you, Dr. Altobello. Any other questions? Okay, any questions on the monthly HIB report? Monthly health report? Okay, seeing no questions, I'll move to hearing of the public on agenda items. We don't have anyone signed up for that portion, so we'll move to the agenda, which is curriculum and instruction. Dr. Farrar, can you take us through curriculum instruction?
Yes, ma'am. On the recommendation of the superintendent, I move items 1 through 12.
Second.
Okay. Do we have any questions in regards to curriculum instruction, items 1 through 12? Seeing none, roll call.
Ms. Harvey?
Yes.
Mr. Kanka?
Yes.
Dr. McSheen?
Yes.
Ms. Soto?
Yes.
Mr. Salantano?
Yes, abstain on number 11.
Dr. Farrar?
Yes, but on 6, I'm going to abstain on F.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Thornton?
Yes. Yes.
Motion passes. Motions pass.
Okay, finance and operation. Mr. Kanka, can you take us through finance and operation?
Upon recommendation of the superintendent, I move motions 1 through 18 under finance and operations.
Second.
Do we have any questions under finance and operation? Okay, I actually just wanted to make a comment in regards to motion 18. I support this initiative 100% in regards to safety. I want to thank the Hamilton Township and the Hamilton Police Department for their partnership with the school district and working with us to enhance the safety and security of our students and our staff. Due to a conflict, I will have to abstain on this, but I just wanted to let everyone know I 100% do support it. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, roll call.
Ms. Harvey?
Yes.
Mr. Kanka?
Yes.
Dr. McSheen?
Yes.
Ms. Soto?
Yes, but I need to abstain on number 7, section 2, number 2.
Mr. Salantano? Dr. Farrar?
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Thornton?
Yes on all, abstain on 18.
Motions pass.
Personnel items. Mr. Gonzalez, can you take us through personnel agenda?
Upon recommendation of the superintendent, I move items 1 through 13 under personnel.
Mr. Kanka, second. Yeah.
Any question?
Second.
Do I have any questions in regards to personnel?
All right, thanks. I'm sorry.
Any questions regards to personnel?
No, Ms. Atwood, I'm going to have to fix my vote under CNI.
Okay. I mean, Mr. Carrick, does she need to do it now, or?
We could just finish this and then
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Mr. Carrick.
We'll go
let's
through the
finish and then
agenda.
we'll go to
Yeah,
back to that.
no, that's fine.
Okay. So, do we have any questions for personnel? Okay, I would like to recognize, we do have a few retirements this evening. So we have our family and consumer science teacher from Hamilton High School East, Steinert, 26 years, Deborah Gore. English teacher from Hamilton High East, Steinert, 25 years, Eileen Gannon. Spanish teacher from Reynolds Middle School, 8 years, 5 months, Lisa Goudars. And our secretary from the facilities department, 30 years service to Hamilton, Catherine McKelvey. I would like to thank them all for their dedication to our district, and we wish them all the best in their retirement. Any other questions? Seeing none, roll call.
Ms. Harvey?
Yes.
Mr. Kanka?
Yes.
Dr. McSheen?
Yes.
Ms. Soto?
Yes.
Mr. Salantano?
Yes, no on 2E1.
Dr. Farrar?
Yes, I have to abstain on 4A-38.
A-3?
38.
8, okay. 38, yes, got it. Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Ms. Thornton?
Yes.
Motion's pass.
Okay. At this time, we're moving to other business. Do I have any items from board members for other business? Mr. Salantano?
It's really not any other business. It's my business right now. No, I just want to take this opportunity to wish everybody a happy holiday. Whatever you support, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Jewish holidays, Hanukkah, and I wish everybody here a very healthy and prosperous holiday season.
Thank you, Mr. Salantano. Mr. Kanka?
Yes, I would like to take this opportunity to wish Mr. Gonzalez a happy transition into wherever he's transitioning into. And we had some interesting conversations over the few years that you've been here, and they were nice conversations, and I really appreciate your dedication to the board. And good luck in your ventures. And I would also go.
Thanks, Rich. That was very sweet. I enjoyed you too.
I would also like to wish everybody a happy holiday season, and just be safe, okay? I want to see you guys all back here on the 4th of July, or January. 4th of July too.
Any other board members? So I would like to also take an opportunity to thank Mr. Gonzalez. Liam, it's been an honor to work with you. We have worked together on the personnel committee, and you have been an absolute asset to Hamilton Township School District, and we want to thank you. And I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I know you're going to continue to do amazing things, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I have one more comment.
Yes, Mr. Kanka.
And Mr. Gonzalez, I apologize for you having to sit through 3 executive sessions on your last day here.
Thank you. But we did that especially because. Okay, at this time, I do have hearing of the public on school-related matters. I will start with Hattie Adenizio.
Hi there. HTEA wanted to congratulate all of our members that were that got the honor of Teacher of the Year and Educational Service Professional of the Year. We want to thank them for all of their hard work and dedication to our students. This year, HTEA is partnering with the Hamilton Educational Foundation to honor our teachers and our ESPs. The awards dinner will be on February 8th at Stone Terrace, so we're looking forward to honoring our staff members. So a real good piece, this is such good news. I was so happy when I heard this. So I was invited to go to Greenwood to see their math bowl, but I had a meeting with Dr. Altabello that kind of took me away from that. So I blame you, but that's okay. It was very important. In any case, I wanted to follow up and see how the kids did, right? So spoke with one of my colleagues over there, and there were 3 winners, but there's something that needs to be noted about the 3 winners of the math bowl. One of the students was a former basic skills student. and the other 2 were ESL students. So I just think that's a huge accomplishment for them. It speaks a lot to their teachers and their families, and their love, the support, the guidance that helped them reach that goal. I was really, really happy to hear that. There's great things happening in our schools. HTA wishes all of you a happy holiday and a very safe and healthy new year.
Thank you. Janice Glonick.
It's so hard to hear. And it's kind of cold. Make the room more comfortable.
Nice to have a board. Put your papers on. Okay, I have 4 items. First one is I'm glad cursive is officially back in the curriculum. I hope it continues through the 4th grade like I had suggested last meeting. They need to know more than just to write their name. They need to write sentences, and even more important, be able to read cursive writing. So spending 2 days, 15 minutes each should not be a problem. I sincerely hope that this is implemented. I would like to hear at a future meeting if it is, and if it's not, why not? Because they really do need to understand cursive writing and be able to read it, because somewhere in your life you're going to come across it. You don't want to be embarrassed, so you can read it. Number 2 is I, as well as all the teachers, were blown out of the water when they said no more time tests for math facts. I thought this was a state mandate, but then I heard that other districts are still doing it. Why are we stopping timing math tests when math scores are so down due to COVID? That would strengthen them, and they said because it's too stressful. Frankly, taking a long time to do your math homework, I think, is more stressful, and taking a long time in class, and I mean, when they get home, they can cheat and do their phone to do the answers, but when you're in class, you have to be able to do it on your own. And then when you have to learn long division, knowing your multiplication facts is very vital to that. If you don't know them, speak about stress, they're stress. You use math constantly, especially when you go shopping. I mean, I was in ShopRite and lemons are 60 cents each, or you could get 5 for $3. And I'm thinking, oh, I only need 4, maybe I'll go for the extra 5, but 5 for $3 is still 5 times 6, it's the same answer. So therefore, it was not a bargain at all. So, but I did not need to pull a phone out. I could do that in my head. And same thing when you're looking at values and stuff like that. So I really sincerely hope that we reevaluate knowing our facts, because that is very vital. Instead of just whipping out your phone all the time, you can do it faster in your head, and it'll be easier for the kids doing their math homework and everything else. And then the schedule for next year, I sincerely hope conferences are not on Halloween. And it would be nice if they were back in November. The kids need an extra 2 weeks. The teachers need an extra 2 weeks to know the kids. And they should always be Tuesday through Friday, because conferences are stressful. You need a lot of prep. You need to write reports afterwards and everything. And it's nice to be able to go home and relax on Saturday and Sunday instead of teaching all day Friday the next day. So they should always be a Tuesday to Friday. And hopefully November would be much nicer, like they were back in the days of the Pilgrims. It was so much nicer. And then the elementary school is getting their report cards before Christmas. And if Santa only comes to good boys and girls, that's going to be a little tacky for some kids. So the next thing was someone brought up a question about bullying and Nottingham lunches last meeting, and they left their phone number so that they could get information on what the answer was. However, many of us would like to know what the answer was too. It's very important the person who asked the question get an immediate answer. But it would be nice if you started implementing the following meeting. These were the questions that were asked, and these were the answers that were decided, so that we know, especially with the bullying, that is a major problem. So we would like to know what the answers were to this person's questions. And other than that, I would like to wish everyone a very happy holiday. Hope Santa treats you well, and may every 2nd through 5th grade student get a pencil in their stocking to practice cursive writing.
Lisa Linkowski.
Good evening, everyone. Lisa Linkowski. I'm here as a member of the Hamilton High West Band, Parent Band Club. And I just want to read a letter to you that is going to be given to a member of the HTSD custodial staff. His name is Jerome Giangrasso, and he drove the truck for the Hamilton High West band performances many times this year. And the letter says, "We hope that this letter finds you well. We wanted to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude for your invaluable assistance and support during the season with the Hamilton High West Hornet Marching Band. Your dedication and commitment to our band have not gone unnoticed. Your presence and your willingness to go the extra mile for our marching band made a significant difference and is the true definition of Hornet pride. It's clear that you are a true friend to all of us in the band, students and field crew alike. Your help and support went above and beyond. As we reflect on this marching season, we are immensely grateful to have had you as part of our team. Once again, Jerome, we thank you for being an integral part of our band family this season. Your presence made a difference, and we're grateful that the marching band has a friend like you by our side." This is signed by John Lankowski, president of the Hamilton High West Band Parent Club. And we're presenting him with this nice, beautiful printed thing that all of the kids signed, and there's more signatures on the back. Our band season this year was fraught with a lot of issues, namely it rained, I think, 9 Saturdays in a row this past season. Our cavalcade was canceled. Our truck broke down over at Steiner after one of the competitions that we didn't even qualify for because our timing was off, something with that. So it was a rough season, and Jerome was incredible. He helped us out. He was great with the kids. He was so wonderful that we gave him one of our field crew t-shirts. He was just amazing, and he's an amazing individual. So we're going to bring this to him tomorrow with a gift for the holidays, and I just wanted to share that. Liam, on behalf of the HTCSE, thank you very much for your service for the past 3 years. We really greatly appreciate it, and wish all of you a happy and healthy everything that's coming and a great 2024. Thank you.
Ms. Lankowski, Jerome is an employee, a parent? Oh,
he's on the custodial staff.
At
And
West?
he was driving no, not at West, within the district.
Okay.
And he was one of the truck drivers. He carried around all of the equipment for us. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Brenda Julian?
Good evening. I wasn't here last month. I was watching online, and it was so nice to not be at a board meeting, feeling like I had to fight for my kids' rights to exist. I really hope that everyone has enjoyed our less attended meetings. In the spirit of that, I wanted to thank Liam for his time on the board. You did a great service to our community, and thank you. I wanted to congratulate our school board members that won, I hope that as we move to next year, we can look towards bigger issues in a way that we're doing school business, that we have the noise down. But also remember that even though our crowds are down, that we voted in values. We voted in members to protect our kids, to protect our teachers, to protect our staff, our libraries, our liberties. Want to make sure that doesn't get lost because you don't have the screaming voices in your ears. And I want to thank you all. Have a really great holiday. And that's all.
Thank you. So that does conclude the hearing of the public on school-related matters. We will be going into another executive session. We will not be coming out to vote on anything, so there is no vote. I would like to take this time to wish everyone a very happy holiday and wish you all a very happy and healthy new year, and we will see you in 2024. So can I have a motion to go into executive session? Yes, hold on one moment.
You motion. No, go ahead. I want to say, let's go.
Okay, can I have a motion to go into executive session?
Yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstained? Motion passes.
Whereas NJSA 10:4-13 requires adoption of the board to go into executive session, be it resolved that the board pursuant to the Open Public Meetings
Thank
Act,
you.
New Jersey, Title 18A, and the Hamilton Township Board of Education Bylaw Number 0166, hereby enter executive session to discuss a matter involving matters falling under attorney-client privilege. Be it further resolved that the minutes of this executive session shall be made public following formal action by the board and/or at the conclusion of any investigation, due process, proceedings, or litigation, so long as not prohibited by law, and so long as the need for maintaining confidentiality no longer exists. As I said, we will not be coming out for a vote.